The day her father died, he left all 25 houses to his illegitimate son, but her mother didn't fight for any of them, signed the consent form with a calm face. After the lawyer left, the girl angrily asked her mother why she signed it. She and father had been together for half their lives. They even haggled over buying a single green onion, but now why was she giving up everything? But when her mother heard that, she said lightly that the person was already dead. There was nothing to argue about. The girl couldn't forgive her mother's cowardice, went out alone to clear her head. She didn't expect that night the illegitimate son suddenly came to show off in his new luxury car, laughed at the girl for living in such a shabby place, unlike him who was moving into a Riverview villa soon, and the mistress next to him, even threw 50,000 yuan at her with a condescending look, telling the girl to take good care of her mother from now on. Faced with the mother and son's blatant insult, the girl was so angry that she swatted the money away, but she didn't expect that at this moment her mother suddenly rushed over and stopped her. Her mother not only took the 50,000 yuan actively, but also sincerely thanked the mistress for coming to see her. Looking at her obsequious mother, the mistress and her son felt like they punched cotton, and left in a bad mood soon after. After that night, the girl and her mother fell into a cold war. She couldn't understand her mother's cowardice, let alone communicate with her. A few days later, the illegitimate son moved into a new house, intentionally sent an invitation to the girl. When the girl saw it, she was so angry that she tore the invitation to pieces. She originally thought that this time her mother would definitely stand with her, but she didn't expect that the next day her mother not only dressed up nicely to attend, but also took the initiative to buy them an expensive fruit basket. At this moment the girl was completely desperate. She never thought that she would be betrayed by her only family member. Half an hour later, a relative called the girl, complaining about the mistress and her son's bad behavior. The mistress not only intentionally seated her mother in the corner, but also told everyone that her mother was reasonable and righteous, and took the initiative to give them the houses. At this moment, in the relative's eyes, her mother had become a complete joke. The girl couldn't accept such a cowardly mother, so she left home in a fit of anger, and she was gone for 3 years. She worked hard every day and tried her best to make money, trying to numb herself with busyness. 3 years passed. The girl still couldn't forgive her mother. From what the relatives said, the girl also heard about the recent situation of the mistress and her son. Over the years, to satisfy his extravagance, the illegitimate son had sold more than a dozen houses one after another. The girl originally thought that life could go on like this calmly, but she didn't expect that this day, she suddenly received a call from the hospital, saying that her mother had a sudden cerebral infarction, telling the girl to come to the hospital quickly. When the girl heard that, she rushed to the hospital like crazy. Looking at her pale mother in the hospital bed, the girl felt extremely distressed. At this time, the doctor reminded the girl that her mother needed surgery immediately, and the surgery fee was at least 300,000 yuan. When the girl heard that, her heart sank suddenly, because even though she worked hard for these 3 years, all her savings were only more than 100,000 yuan. But just when she didn't know what to do, her mother suddenly held her hand.